Hey, this is Victoria Aguillard, and today we're going to be talking about the Heyward Gibbs Hill portfolio. We're going to be re-weighting this portfolio and seeing if we can get it more to the left or above the efficient frontier. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to take data for each of the securities in the portfolio. I took data for 5 years on a weekly basis, and with this we're going to find the risk and return of the individual securities. With that, I'm going to find the ones that are on the efficient frontier, and these companies are Johnson & Johnson, Verizon, 3M Company, Pfizer, Bristol Myers, Home Depot, and Krispy Kreme. So these companies are on the efficient frontier, and I'm going to put more weight on these companies and less weight on the companies that are not on the efficient frontier when we're re-weighting it. So this is the graph of the efficient frontier, and all the rest of the companies are right here. To the right are below the highest point. I also took the correlation coefficients of each of the companies in the portfolio, and the reason I did this was to see if there was any companies highly correlated that I might be able to eliminate. I found that Verizon and AT&T were the most highly correlated at 0.75, and also AT&T is not on the efficient frontier and Verizon is, so I completely took AT&T out of the portfolio and gave Verizon more weight. So the most difficult part is finding the risk and return of the portfolio as a whole. It's also the most important part. The way you're going to do this is you're going to take the amount of shares that you have in the company, and then you're going to multiply that by the price of the first data you took. And so for me, it would be May 2010. And so you're going to multiply the first data times the amount of shares you have, and that gives you this column. So you're going to add this column together, and then you're going to need to find your weight of the individual security. So you're going to take the individual number, and then you're going to divide it by the sum of all of these. So once you have your weights, you're going to take the weight, and then you're going to multiply that by the individual return of each company. So that gives you your last column here, and then that's the column you're going to find the risk and return from. So to find the risk, you take the standard deviation of this column. To find the return, you're going to take the average of this column. So the current portfolio before any reweighting was done, the risk was 0.0725103%, and the return was 0.0300125%. And again, like I said, the way I reweighted it was I took the companies that were on the efficient frontier, I more heavily weighted them and didn't weight the companies that weren't on the efficient frontier as much. And so I managed to reweight it with a lower risk of 0.064425% and a higher return of 0.0301744%. So we have a lower risk with a higher return, and that puts the portfolio on the efficient frontier more to the left and more higher. And so that's the reason to reweight it.